I'm a professional project manager. Basically, I do coaching. I do consultancy in project management. Basically, I do maturity assessment for the companies. So I define where they stand in terms of the maturity level from 1 to 5.
Okay.
And
Seem to be somebody who enjoys also interacting with people, going out, make the deal, and doesn't want to get bored. Always something new, something latest, fun. How can I help you in being more successful in your happiness or in your professional money making? What was your thought?
That's a very good question. Well, basically, I'm not into too much money making thing. I'm more in happiness thing. So I don't think the money is a factor of it, but I'm very interested in flow because I've read about it the book, etc. There is the concept, etc. But so I'm interested how this flow can be applied. Applied in the consultancy business.
And for you, or generally, you want to share this knowledge?
Share knowledge, Okay. Like
so
for companies.
This I constantly do. So the easiest way to understand what the flow is to read the book called Patok by Csikszentmihalyi.
Yes, I know.
You can buy it now, but unfortunately, most people don't read nowadays. They have no time for reading.
I know.
So maybe they Google this, or they go to YouTube, or what happens is they listen to me as sort of a follower of the flow. And it is something which is available to everybody, but I will now tell you and your viewers the essence of what flow is.
Sure.
Flow is a mental state which many people think is unique to them, but it has been proven scientifically that it is actually a human general phenomenon. They call it a theory, but actually it is a reality. It is a mental state which always is linked to an activity. And I, as a leadership developer, and you as a leadership expert, will love this because we want to get forward. We want to organize the world. We want to create value. We want to create meaning, and so on. So flow is a mental state which is different from types of happiness, which is linked to passivity or consumption. It is not the world of pleasure, which after a while gets boring. You cannot eat anymore after a while. You cannot earn the most in the world. There's always a disappointment in it.
Some saturation point.
But there is a different type of happiness which Csikszentmihalyi calls, and is flow, and it is related to the concept of enjoyment. Not pleasure, but enjoyment. And enjoyment, it is the fact that you suffer from the work. It's difficult, but you don't suffer too badly. You suffer by developing your skills. So in flow, 3 big moments are created which is useful for everybody. First of all, in the activity which is characterized with flow moments, you feel that your work is meaningful, your activity is meaningful. It can be cooking, it can be repairing the bicycle, it can be have a nice interview, and if somebody would stop you now, you will say, yes, I enjoyed speaking with Zoltan, it was meaningful, so you're in flow. The second element which people noticed when they're in flow is that they get better and better making the interviews. For example, I speak constantly now. Mastering. How do you interrupt a professor who's speaking for 1.5 hours without break? How do you... So this is the mastery you start to develop. You get better and better in the flow. And the third element why it is important to have as much flow is we develop psychological capital. In psychological capital we have energies which we can use when things are not so good. Everyday life, boring, but we can remember sometimes it was good. We are very looking forward to repeat these great moments of being in flow, so we have become creative. So in flow we find meaningful our activities, we get better at it, and we build up something which we can call psychological capital for moments when we need internal strengths.
So that's a good basement in terms of when you have stress. So it makes you very stable, right?
Exactly.
Like psychological state.
It is like a financial capital. When you have money in the bank, you can use it when you need it. For projects you come about later. And in flow, people build up this capital, and it is characterized by features. The psychological capital is that they have hope that something will be good. This company, this project, this product will be good. They are also efficacy. They know how to do it. They get better and better in doing it. They're resilient. If things don't work out so well, they will not run away and say, oh, I give up immediately. And they're optimistic that there will be a good future to which they can find. They will see the benefits of the product, not only, or the project, not only the negative sides.
So this is, I try to give like a very practical thing to the audience. So in terms of skill, so how can like any person can get this? I see it as a skill, right?
Yes.
To get
how to get into flow.
Yeah, to get into
flow. How to get into flow is at the moment semi-mystery, but not so much anymore.
Okay.
Science of psychology, the work of Csikszentmihalyi has identified the preconditions, what you need to do to get into flow.
Okay.
And in flow, your work skills get better at it. So the first precondition is that you should be aware of the goal, what you want to achieve, this overall image. In the second one, the activity should provide you with feedback. Between us, lots of feedback, body language, thoughts. If somebody comes here and interrupts this zone of feedback, the activity will not be leading to flow. Therefore, annual bonus, yearly bonus is not source for getting happiness through work. It comes too late. Good leaders give feedback on the moment. They see on the Excel sheet. I see on the screen when I make a great presentation, oh, this looks good. The photo, we looked at the photo immediately and we want to see how was the photo going and checking. The third element which is necessary for flow is the most difficult to discover and to learn. It is the leader's ability to find the balance between the activities you need with a skill for it, and the other dimension upward is the challenge. Because if the challenge is too difficult and you don't have the skills, then people feel in anxiety. If they have lots of skill and nothing to do, then they're bored.
Okay, so it's balance
between skill and challenges.
Okay.
And the fourth one, which we need for getting into flow, is to get focus. The four ingredients are: first, have a clear goal. Second, get immediate feedback. Immediate feedback from the activity. Balance, challenge and skills, and then also focus. In flow, things happen, like you lose sense of time and so on. But you asked, do you need a special skill for it? No. In flow state, the skills you need for the activity are used at 105%. What does this mean? That if you are using your skills in full, then it is mental state called control. But in flow, you are beyond the control. You explore better. You discover that you can actually handle higher complexity than you thought you were before. First, you did a company audit. Is this more complexity? And now you are interested in taking on a big fish. And you don't have the, but your skill gets better if in the project. So learning happens.
Like burnout in the state, in the companies, because I think their skill does not match the scope of work.
Yes, they were enjoying the work at the beginning, but as soon as they started to enjoy the work, they get better at the skill, and the challenge is not matched. The second reason that they burn out is that their leaders don't know about the logic and the principles of flow, so they don't manage the team accordingly, like a portfolio. They think it's a static portfolio, humans, but it's a very dynamic one. And they, leaders, good leaders, this is what is find their own happiness in being a good people portfolio manager.
Exactly.
They will discover, hopefully, when you speak to them, that being a leader is actually like playing the most complex game in life. Because it's a complicated...
you're playing with like chess. You're putting the people on the position.
Yes, and in chess, the figures are static. But in real life, an expert in finance, in marketing, after a while, gets bored or frustrated. And then you also have to integrate the whole team. And in chess, the figures don't care who's the composition of the team.
Right. They have no like mental
dynamics. Yes.